Hey, look, I know I'm all the time picking on y'all, fake ass patriots. You, Team Taco. You look, I know that I can't make myself stop, y'all. I mean, I'll be honest with you. It does bring me some pleasures from time to time, you know. I mean, look at y'all. Look at you. I mean, there's so much that you don't know that you should know, you know, and it boggles the brain knowing that right there. I was sitting up the other night thinking, you know, it's got to be more to this. You can't just make somebody that dumb naturally. Something's got to have intervened in this and created some extra dumbness levels there. Because it couldn't just be that the TV signals didn't make it all the way to your house, you know. The schoolhouse rocks didn't get there. And I know that they didn't get there because you missed out on things like conjunction, junction, what's your function? You missed out on that, and that's the reason why y'all don't know the difference between there, and there, you know. Struggling with that all the time right there. And I know that you didn't have I'm just a bill. Yes, I'm only a bill. And I'm sitting here on Capitol Hill. You didn't have that one right there. Y'all wouldn't have been blaming the government there for all those high prices and blaming Sleepy Joe and all. You'd have understood that if that was going to be fixed through the government, that your people was in charge of Congress and that the bills come from them. And you was blaming the wrong people. Now, if you'd have had that schoolhouse rock, you'd have known that. Wouldn't make yourself look like a bunch of fools, you know. So I know you didn't get the schoolhouse rocks because you don't know how government works, or conjunctions, or words, or numbers. But anyway, so you didn't have that, and I'm like, well, it's got to be even more than that because there's a couple of extra layers of dumbness that comes along with being a MAGA, you know. So, and I was like, you know, if the TV signals couldn't make it out to the house, you know what else didn't? Encyclopedia salesmen didn't make it out there. They didn't make it out there to the rurals, you know. They ain't willing to go, you know. And who's going to be wanting to learn out there on some encyclopedias anyway, you know? I'm sure it was an executive decision what happened. So, see, because right, these days we got the interwebs, you know. We got that Wikipedias and stuff like that. We got all the informations in the world around here. We used to have it in them books, you know, them encyclopedias. Everything we knew about the whole world was in these books, and they'd usually fit on one shelf right there, just one side to the other. A for America, and B for Brazil, C for the Canadians, you know, D for the Denmarks, and E's for the Europes, and F's for the Frances, and G's for the Germanys. Yeah, that's Europe too, though. But anyway, it was all in there, everything we knew. Now me and my brother, we had us a set of Funkin' Wagnalls now. Well, not a whole set. We didn't have a whole set. That's a lie right there because we was missing K-L. K-L wasn't ever in our Funkin' Wagnalls, and that did create some funked up situations for us there too, because if the teacher ever gave us a lesson on K or L, we'd have to say, I can't do it, teach. It's my Funkin' Wagnalls are missing the K-L, so you're going to have to Funkin' flunk me on this one right here, you know, and that would happen there, you know. And besides, what's in K-L anyway, you know, that we need to study up on? Kansas? There ain't nothing in Kansas, is there? Oh, yeah, there actually is, though. There is. There's a castle in Kansas, y'all. There's a castle, a Spanish castle in a Swedish town in Lindsborg, Kansas. Y'all, that's a true story. Me and my wife went there and walked around inside the castle. Got there on accident. I had no idea that's what we was going to stumble on when we was in Kansas. It's true, though. Sure is. A Spanish castle in a Swedish town in Kansas. But anyway, back to the Funkin' Wagnall. See, now my sister, she had her whole set of Britannicas there, and she had the K-L. She wouldn't loan it to us. She'd never give us the K-L because she's afraid we wouldn't give it back to her, you know. So anyway, we had us a whole set, minus the K-L's, what I'm telling you. But now them things would get you in trouble too. Now my job was to dust that bedroom every Saturday morning before I could go outside and play with the pledges and the rag. You know, it had to smell like lemon juice whenever I was done in there, and shining, glistening, slick, you know. And if I didn't do it right, well, my mom would come along and she would go dust it behind me. And she didn't just dust in front of the Funkin' Wagnalls. She'd dust under the Funkin' Wagnall because you can't have no Funkin' Wagnall dust down there, you know. So she'd move them Funkin' Wagnalls out and dust under them. And I don't know if you ever had a row of books up there, but what do you have whenever you slide all the books to the front? You got empty space back there behind them. And what do you do with that? You hide stuff in it. That's what you do, is you hide stuff back behind the books right there. My brother did that, and my mama called us all in that evening, and she had this thing in her hand, and she wanted us to tell her what was on that. It was a VHS tape. She found it behind the Funkin' Wagnalls, y'all. It's my fault. I didn't dust right. She found my brother's VHS tape. His little horny video he had back there behind the damn Funkin' Wagnalls he was hiding back there. It's my fault. I got him in trouble. If I'd have dusted right, she'd never found the thing, you know. But she wanted to know what was on it. And I felt like she should already know what's on it. It's a VHS tape behind the Funkin' Wagnalls. What do you think's on it, Mama? She wanted to put it in there anyway, and it's horrifying for me, y'all. She slid it in there in front of me, and I'm watching pornos with my mama then, you know, Tracy Lords right there, just all spread out in front of everybody, all willy-nilly like. So anyway, them Funkin' Wagnalls, I didn't just learn on them, y'all. They also got me in trouble because of my brother and me for not dusting right, y'all. But anyway, I just wanted to know there, you fake-ass patriots, is that what your problem is, the Funkin' Wagnalls? You didn't have no Funkin' Wagnalls, and it funked you all up because of that. That's got to be it. And plus, the TV signals didn't make it out there because there was a whole lot more learning that went on with them TVs, you know. It wasn't just some silly programming. There's educational stuff on there. The educational. Did you have the electric company? Did it make it out there? So you don't even know who Letterman is. Good Lord. What about the Great Space Coaster? Did you get to watch that? It's the Great Space Coaster. Whoa, it's the Great Space Coaster. Off we go. Get on board, step inside, soaring on a magic ride, roaring towards the other side, where only rainbows high. It's the Great Space Coaster. Whoa, it's the Great Space Coaster. Off we go. You didn't get the Great Space Coaster? So you don't even know about Gary Gnu, then, do you? Wow, that was no news is good news with Gary Gnu. You know, that was Gary Gnu. You missed. But you know what? You got Fox faking news, though, don't you? It ain't no good news on there either. So I guess you didn't miss out on a whole lot, because right, no news is good news on the Fox faking news either. So you do got that right there. What about Sigmund the Sea Monster? Did you get that? Sigmund the Sea Monster and Johnny and Scott are friends. You didn't get that one either? I bet y'all didn't even get the Sesame Streets, man. It ain't no wonder why y'all were on 3 or 4 levels of dumbness, y'all. Man, y'all missed out on a lot of stuff there. Some of that stuff right there would have teached you up some stuff. You'd have learned some stuff on that. Plus, if you had you a set of Funkin' Wagnalls, see, I was only missing K-L. Gave me the opportunity to learn a whole lot of stuff there, just missing K-L. Y'all's Funkin' Wagnalls, you're missing A-Z. That's what happened. It make you super dumb growing up, not having a whole complete set of Funkin' Wagnalls, even if you are missing the K-L. You can get by on that. You can get by on it. See, if you had them, you could have studied up on N right there. And the N's Nazi Germany. You could have looked that up and recognized what's going on today and that you're being a part of it and repeating history. Dumbass. You could have learned that. Or you could admit that that's what you want to be, because you're aligning yourself with it right now in front of everybody as we speak, as this man tries to make himself Adolf 2.0. You should be ashamed of yourselves, every single damn one of you, who's pretending like this is all okay. F you. If anybody don't belong in this country, it's you. Inmate Trump.